Registration of a new business. New business must be registered in the name of legalities. Registering the business helps you avoid legal problems with the government. Secures your reputation as a legitimate business. It also builds trust among suppliers, customers, and employees. This allows you to fully market your brand and business everywhere. Before you let your well-planned business rocks to the market, the following official processes must be taken. First would be register your official name in the Department of Trade and Industry, or the DTI. DTI is responsible for realizing the country's goal of globally competitive and innovative industry and services sector that contribute to inclusive growth and employment generation. It's something all entrepreneurs and investors who are planning to set up a company in the Philippines must be accomplished. It is primary agency in the promotion and development of MSMEs through the provision of various assistance and interventions. For example, is the financing, marketing and promotion, human resource development, product development, and advocacy. It is necessary to register your single proprietorship business with the DTI to provide it with a legal identity and gain the rights to use your business name. Remember that a business name or the BN registration is not licensed to operate a business. Second would be the apply for a mayor's permit to operate the business and the municipal business license of the business. A mayor's permit is a license issued by a mayor for a company for the operation of its business under its jurisdiction. This permit is renewable every year, and the deadline for the renewal is before the end of the January of each year. Penalties are imposed on businesses that fail to renew their business permits on or before the prescribed period. The mayor's business permit ensures that your business complies with all the ordinances of the particular city or municipality you operate in. This is important because each municipality or city has its own set of ordinances. All businesses, whatever the legal form, are required to secure a mayor's permit or municipal license from the city or municipality that they are located. Permits or licenses are required to ensure that the standards are met and that business complies with the specific requirement of the business locale. Registration procedure varies across cities and municipalities.
Hello everyone, this is Cecil Ram. And now let us continue to talk about the registration of a new business. So, one of the most important matter to do in registering a new business is to register your business at the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. The articles of incorporation and bylaws are required for all corporations and for partnership. So it means that before your enterprise can legally conduct business here, specifically in the Philippines, you have to register with a number of important government agencies, chief among which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, if you're operating a corporation or a partnership business. So now let us talk about what is SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission. So the Securities and Exchange Commission is the agency of the government of the Philippines responsible for regulating the securities industry in the Philippines. In addition to its regulatory functions, the SEC also maintains the country's company register. So the SEC also was created by Congress of the Philippines in 1936 as part of the Security Act, or the Commonwealth Act number 83. This occurred just 2 years after the United States Congress created the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. So it means that the SEC was originally created in the United States. So the next slide. is let us talk about the function of Securities and Exchange Commission. So its major functions include registration of securities, analysis of every registered security, and the evaluation of the financial condition and operations of applicants for security issue. And its function are defined in Section 5 of the Securities Regulation Code and include the following major areas. First is the supervision over all registered business entities in the country, including suspensions and revocations of their registrations. Second is policy making with regard to the market and securities. Third is to control over and approval of security registration statements. Next is power to investigate violations of securities laws and to impose sanctions for such violations. And it has power to issue subpoenas, punish for contempt, and issue cease and desist orders in the runs of its law enforcement mission. So now, let us talk about SEC registration in the Philippines. Local and foreign investors that intend to establish corporations, partnerships, or associations in the Philippines are required to register their business entities with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC before they can conduct business activities and participate in the country's securities market to buy or trade shares of stock, bonds, interest in a company, and other types of financial assets. So it means that registering your business with SEC is mandatory, not only to legitimize its judicial entity, but also to enable it to legally engage in business, issue receipts, trade financial assets, and be entitled to certain rights under the country's corporate and investment law. So, and these are provided under Section 3 of Presidential Decree number 902A. The SEC has absolute jurisdiction, supervision, and control over all corporations, partnerships, and associations that are grantees of primary franchises and licenses or permits issued by the government. So now, let us know what are the registration process for business required to register with the SEC. So first is to secure a unique business name. Second is to accomplish an application form from SEC. Third is to draft the necessary documents required for a specific business entity you plan to register, such as articles of incorporations and bylaws, treasurer's affidavit, deposit the minimum paid-up capital requirement, and you have to obtain necessary licenses or permits from appropriate government agencies for regulated industry sectors and business activities. Next is there are types of business entities required to register with the SEC, such as stock corporations or profit business entities which have shareholders who hold ownerships of the corporations through shares of stock, like domestic corporations, resident foreign corporations, branch office, representative office, regional headquarters, regional operating headquarters, non-stock corporations or non-profit business entities which do not issue stocks and distribute dividends to their members. Also, the non-governmental organizations or the NGOs, foundations, associations, religious organizations, partnerships for profit business entities established by two or more persons who share management and profits among themselves, and the general partnerships and limited partnerships. So, that would be all. Thank you.
Setting up a business involves numerous processes and requirements, and one of them is business registration. So in this video, I am sharing about the procedures and requirements on how to register sole proprietor businesses, partnership, and corporation in the BIR. Here's the step number 1. Fill out application of registration form or BIR form 1901. You have to accomplish BIR form 1901. Print or write each detail legibly using capital letters. Mark all appropriate boxes with X. You must also know your TIN or tax identification number in accomplishing your BIR business registration. Step number 2. Submit photocopies of the required documents before you register your business in BIR. You should have taken the prior steps such as getting your DTI business name registration, mayor's permit, and barangay business clearance. Step number 3. Sketch your location of business. The BIR also requires sketch of the location of business. A simple sketch of your workplace would help the Bureau's tax mapping activities if there are any in your area. Step number 4. Fill out BIR Form 0605 and pay annual registration fee. Annual registration fee of 500 is required for new registration of business. Similarly, you need to file this payment from again on or before January 31st of each year as long as you are doing a business. Step number 5. Pay documentary stamp tax. Business registration in the Bureau of Internal Revenue also requires payment of documentary stamp tax. The step 6 is register your book of accounts. Books must be registered before the commencement of the business or upon the registration of a new business in the BIR. Book of accounts and other accounting records must be kept at the office. Additionally, they must be updated and must maintain up-to-date recording of business transactions. Step 7. Register your official receipts and sales invoices. All businesses that render services and offer sales are subject to internal revenue taxes. Therefore, they must issue receipts or sales invoices authorized by the BIR. Step 8 is you have to attend the seminar in filing and tax payment. The business owner or anyone who is responsible for your bookkeeping and accounting can attend the seminar about filing and payment of taxes. Step 9 is claim your certificate of registration. At the final step, the BIR will issue your certificate of registration or BIR Form 2303. This is an important business document. At the types of taxes the taxpayer or business owner must pay in the calendar year are also displayed in that document. In addition, the BIR certificate of registration must also be posted in a visible place at the location of the business. The entire business registration process in BIR takes around 10 minutes to complete, depending whether you have provided all the information on the forms correctly. It will help you to speed up the process of registration of your business if you have submitted all the required documents and permits.
Register your employees with the PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and Social Security System. Registration in other agencies which provide welfare and other insurance benefits must also be consulted, legally followed. Registered companies in the Philippines are required to report their new employees to 4 government agencies: the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Social Security System, Philippine Health Insurance Corporation of PhilHealth, and Home Development Mutual Fund o Pag-ibig Fund. It is compulsory to notify these government agencies on the status of employment of an individual legally working in the Philippines, so as to grant him or her the mandatory employee benefits he or she is entitled to under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Employees of private companies in the Philippines are automatically entitled to 6 benefits, basic benefits, which are as follows: SSS contribution, PhilHealth contribution, Pag-ibig Fund contribution, the 13-month pay service incentive, leave, meal, and rest period. 3 of these benefits, SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig Fund contributions, are administered by their respective government agencies through a monthly contribution scheme that requires the employer to remit a portion of the employee's actual monthly salary to its agency. Employers who fail to remit the required contribution amount of the scheduled deadline are liable for payment of interest penalty, which is computed from the due date until the time of payment. Why we need to register? This system provides private employees and their families protection against disability, sickness, old age, death, or the other such instance that could make them incapable of continuing their employment.